that he was a horse next time would be a horse to follow closely. I just feel, for me personally, I just think it's going to be harder for him to do it here at Chelmsford, to be ridden that way. And the draw is a massive negative. You know, it's very hard in these races. I know he's going to be dropped in, but just think it'll make life more difficult. And I just, going through the race, I just don't think there's enough pace in the race for it to unfold in the right manner for him. So I'm going to be siding against him tonight.
Okay, and who are you going to be siding with? The big question.
So after much thought, going through the form and how the race is going to unfold, because I think Warning Light will probably roll along, but again he's in stall 16, well 15 now. Cash and Carry will go forward from a very wide draw in 12. Born to Reason will be ridden positively. I just felt Red Gunner, who's been in really good form recently, a winner last time 15 days ago, from stall 2, Adam Kirby can just sort of slot in behind the pace, and it should unfold perfectly for him.
Let's take a look at Warning Light, and Red Gunner is the piece of footage we're going to focus on, and looking to this performance over a mile and a half, obviously dropping back to 10 furlongs here. And this is number 2 for Mark Loughnane. It did come good to score. Adam Kirby's on board. That would have to be a positive, but he'd gone, goodness, so many runs without winning, hadn't he? Yeah,
he'd sort of been a little bit on the quiet side. He'd been running consistently well in competitive races, and dropped back to that sort of extended 9 furlongs at Wolverhampton, worked the trick, and I think 10 furlongs round here will be perfect. Obviously Adam's a massive plus, was ridden by Ross O'Ryan last time at Wolverhampton, and I think up the £3 for that effort at Wolverhampton, I'd be siding with him.
And I think looking at that clip as well, the fact that he has got form at Chelmsford, he's already proven his suitability to the track. We saw him 4 starts ago, didn't we? There he is, going down. He's quite a flashy little fella, isn't he, with his white blaze and his socks. Amy, your thoughts on Red Gunner?
Yeah, I think that was definitely a step back in the right direction. It was his first win since 2016, but like George said, he was consistent before getting back off the mark again. He's up £3. You can see there he looks really well in himself. I think Gay Calloway's Gelding Caledonia led is, again, he was winning for the second time this year when taking a handicap here 13 days ago over 8 furlongs. Again, up £3, and he's stepping up in trip for the first time over this sort of trip. But again, he arrives in really good form. It's just Warning Light and Tibet. You know, you've got very wide draws for them. They're the only negatives for those.
Indeed, and number 5, Diaghilev at 8-1 is another one that's fairly well fancied. Has got winning form on the penultimate run, but last time out will probably need to do a little bit better than that. He's kind of tricky to weigh up, I think.
Yeah, he is. I can't. That day at Kempton, stepping up to the 12 furlongs, things just didn't really go to plan, and I'd be prepared to put a line through that. I think he's represents. I would look at him in this race as, I feel like he'd be a good each way bet. I think he's a horse that's ridden sort of mid-pack, which would suit, and I think we know he likes course and distance, which is always a positive. Obviously, that was a very low-grade race when he got off the mark to win.
Do you think of all the all-weather tracks, you talk about the course and distance and being a positive, is it more of a benefit at Chelmsford than other all-weather tracks?
I think on this type of surface, Chelmsford is more key, only because the kickbacks can be quite harsh around here. So some horses just won't face it, whereas the likes of Kempton, Lingfield and Wolverhampton are a lot fairer in that respect. So if you're dropping in, you haven't got to really be too concerned with that. So, and obviously Southel's a completely different entity again.
In shot is Diaghilev, who will be looking to give Lydia Pearce her last ever winner, because this is her last ever runner, I believe, tonight. So we wish her the very, very best of luck, and of course best of luck here, but also for the future as well.
Yeah, I think like you were saying, this horse, it was a good effort 2 starts ago. He only beat 2 home though last time, and I think there are risks attached with him. It would be lovely to see him get his head in front. For Lydia, I just think others are a bit more consistent to side with.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Got big prices about the likes of Anything For You, who, well, has only had 3 starts, so there's going to be a fly in the ointment along with George Jr. She might be the one.
Yeah, I think George Jr. for me, stepping up in trip, first from the handicap, is of interest. A lot of these are exposed and you know what you're dealing with, and I suppose the 2 you mentioned, they potentially could be better than the Marks because they're so lightly raced, and there's a little bit of hope they might improve. But obviously George Jr. has shown his last start was probably his most encouraging at Wolverhampton, but it was beaten a long way. But I just feel that the 10 furlongs round here might just help his cause a little bit.
Yeah, I think definitely an interesting contender. You got Ecstasy in there as well, still a maiden. This filly by Born to See, trained by Ray Guest, and there has definitely been hints of ability with her.
Yeah, maiden after 7 runs. Her best was when runner up at Brighton back in August, but she's not been in that sort of form more recently, and this is again her first try beyond 8 furlongs. So there's a few in here that just have that little bit of stamina to prove. I think the form, I'd be going for a horse that's in form. I mean, Warning Light comes here in great form, but he's got a wide, a really wide draw. That's the negative, but we have seen horses win from those draws.
Yeah, I think the mile and a quarter here, well, the 10 furlongs here, when you're racing to that bend, you have to make a decision, as Amy's saying earlier. If you're drawn wide, you either say you compromise a bit of energy early doors and ride aggressively from the gates and go and get your position and run the risk of being wide round the first bend, or you prepared to take your time and take a punt that they're going to go a good gallop and you can work into it. But the problem is at Chelmsford recently, if there isn't much pace on, it's very hard to come from too far back round there. So I think you have to have a plan in your mind when you're drawn wide, because if you say to yourself, I'm just going to slot in the middle of them, you're just going to be 4 or 5 wide round the bends, and it makes life impossible.
Dolphin Village is a lovely looking horse. He has got winning form this season, and that was at Wolverhampton. You go back to February, but he's been a little bit disappointing for me. I know he is capable, so I hope that he could run a little bit better.
Yeah, I think a few of these, as with him, they just have a bit to prove on their recent efforts. He won back in February off tonight's mark, but 4 starts since haven't been as good, and I think there's a few up at the top there which come here in form, and they're probably the ones to side with in a lower grade handicap.
Yeah. Yep.
I suppose with Dolphin Village, the one thing is a horse that does know how to win. I mean, is a winner of 9 races from 79 starts, and I remember this horse back in the day. I think Jane Chapelheim had him for a short period of time, and I actually rode him. He's that old. I did ride him.
Is he? I just think he's a really good-looking horse.
Yeah, no, he's and off a mark of sort of 46 is massively, he's sort of underperforming on what we've seen recently, but he's been a talented horse in his day. I think he's won off a mark as high as 82 in the past, and knows how to win. So if this race unfolds right, he could run well, and I suppose he's represents a bit of value, but you've just got to prove he's fresh and well. He's had a bit of a break, which sometimes for these horses that's all they need.
They are going to be winning at a very big price, Dolphin Village, if he is to score, because he's actually, from what I can see, he's not on there, is he? He's going to be bigger than 33 to 1. And T-Bay now 9 to 2, still the favourite. But you can see by the odds, this is a very, very open race, isn't it, Amy?
Yeah, it is open, and like we said, there's a few of these come in form, and the rest of them have a lot to prove. I think T-Bay is only the second start for this yard, and like we've seen earlier, a few of these trainers, like John Best, does well with these kind of horses, and I don't think it'll be long before he gets the key to him. But I'd just be siding with something that's just in a little bit better form, a bit more proven recently.
Okay, Alicino's Arc had a good spell not too long ago. He'd have to have a say in it as well. Going to be coming from stall 13. There is Warning Light loading to stall 16, and we are almost there. So let's get across and rejoin Gareth Topham.
And Born to Reason. Now just about ready to go. Lined up. And they're off. jumping away for this, the Double Delight at Hat-Trick Heaven at Tokesport.com at handicap. And early on, Cash and Carry in a sheepskin noseband is pushing forward here for early supremacy. Along the inside is Ecstasy. Arlecchino's Arc is a little wider out. Born to Reason not too far away, and Warning Light is widest of all, but also now coming for a share of it as they race towards the bend. So up ahead, Cash and Carry now challenged for the lead by Warning Light. They're 2 lengths away from Arlecchino's Arc and Ecstasy. Then Born to Reason, and further back is George Jr. in the brown with the light blue sleeves and cap. They're being followed through by the white-faced Red Gunner, who holds the inside running rails. A length and a half back off that one is Neckaletta, racing together with Clovenstone, and out deeper Anything for You. Well back in the field at this stage is Dolphin Village, now just slipping back in behind Cheerful. Then comes Diaghilev, Lydia Pierce's final runner as a trainer, that one in the purple headgear right at the rear end of the field, with only a couple behind, the well-supported T-Bay and Caledonia Laird under Holly Doyle. Making the run down the back straight, they've moved on by halfway, and Warning Light in the hands of Josephine Gordon is now ahead by around about a length over Cash and Carry to the fence, racing in second. Then Arlecchino's Arc from Ecstasy along the rails. A little wider of that one is Red Gunner with Born to Reason, and out wider of those Anything for You, who's tracked around the home turn by Diaghilev, who's now improving. Clovenstone is with that one. Now shaken up is Neckaletta, as is George Jr. Still well back at this point. T-Bay back in behind Dolphin Village, and Caledonia Laird is over towards the inside as they're making the run back towards the home straight. Cheerful is another one right towards the rear. Straightening up, Arlecchino's Arc has moved through. The white-faced Red Gunner is tracking Arlecchino's Arc and travelling ominously well. Over towards the inside is Cash and Carry. Further back to Warning Light, is keeping on only at the 1 pace. And then Neckaletta along the inside. Red Gunner, though, has hit the front inside the final furlong and boots away in the hands of Adam Kirby. And it is Red Gunner moving away by 2 to 3 lengths very readily as well from Arlecchino's Arc. Warning Light was a faller back in the field, but this goes comfortably to Red Gunner. The race was on for second. Arlecchino's Arc along the inside of a fast-finishing Diaghilev, with in-between horses at Neckaletta and Clovenstone.
A win for number 2, Red Gunner, Adam Kirby and Mark Loughnane. Congratulations to both of them, going on to win once again. I'm afraid we had a very, very nasty incident in the final part of that race, so we're going to have to wait sadly further news that did not look good, so news coming to you ASAP as soon as we have it. But for now, let's congratulate Mark Loughnane and Adam Kirby with the winner.
Yeah, travelled around very, very smoothly under a ultra confident Adam Kirby, and the way he just moved into the race, just peeled off the last bend. It was a very smooth victory, and well done, Adam. It was pretty easy to pick out. Halfway on the home bend, that it was his for the taking as long as everything unfolded right. And I think that if we obviously can't see the replay, but the thing of massive interest is Adam had a really nice pitch on the rail going into the top bend, and you see him moving one off the rail, and it's because he top class jockeys can see things happening in front of them, and being aware of it. And he saw the horse in front, Cash and Carry, was stopping, and he just moved off, foreseeing that there was going to be a knock-on effect. And it was watching a jockey at the top of his game, seeing something that's going to happen before it does, if that makes sense.
You can actually almost, when you're watching the race, see him using his brain, can't you?
Yeah, I think as well, we said as the race was going, they looked like they were going quick early on, and you saw Warning Light. The Warning Light was on quite a long way out.
Yeah, and sadly that is the filly actually caught up in that incident. So our thoughts with Sean Keithley and his team, and of course Josephine Gordon did get to her feet, I'm being told as well. So anyone waiting on that news, it's the worst watching and not knowing. But the good news is Josephine Gordon is to her feet at Chelmsford. So we wait more on that. And of course the result will be along the way surely. But it's Red Gunner for now, the winner.
So what is backing and laying on the Betfair Exchange? Well, see this couple? I'm betting on them to be this guy's next target. That's called backing. Matt here, his money's on that not happening, and that's called laying a bet. So if the violinist goes to anyone else, Matt takes my money. You can't win them all. The Betfair Exchange.
Join me every Sunday from 9 o'clock for 2.5 hours with some of the most engaging personalities in the sport. Covering all the big questions in racing, looking behind the headlines and making the headlines to give you the full picture. Luck on Sunday, the first place for racing fans every Sunday morning. You can now catch up on all the Luck on Sunday highlights with the Luck on Sunday podcast, available via iTunes.
Wrap up warm and come racing for free this winter with the Racing TV Winter Season Ticket. Did you know that your Racing TV membership gives you free access to over 40 different race days from courses including Ayr, Kempton, Wetherby, Haydock and here at Warwick? It really is so simple. Just bring along your metal membership badge to any of our confirmed fixtures and you'll be on course to enjoy a day at the races for free. There is some fantastic racing to enjoy. Just visit the Winter Season Ticket page on our website. So make the most of your membership and come racing this jump season with your Racing TV Winter Season Ticket.
Now, welcome back. That is Josephine Gordon, thankfully walking away. Sadly, can't confirm any news on warning light at the minute, but that is the best news that you could hope for with Josephine walking away there. A dreadful incident in the closing stages. We're also seeing the winner come back as well in the hands of Adam Kirby. Red Gunner